Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts.
In this video, I'm looking at Savage Sword of Conan, issue 10. Okay, so this is the 10th issue of Savage Sword of Conan. Um, this is flagged as a Scourge of the Serpent crossover. I suppose it is, but there isn't anything specific in here that you wouldn't think of just a normal Conan story. But this is definitely got something unique going on in this one. So, start off with the Conan story as usual. Um, start off, it's Doug Braithwaite artwork, beautiful. Looks perfectly black and white. Exactly what I want from a Savage Sword story artist. Because it all works as black and white. It's really, really good. Um, this is apparently when he's a mercenary. Um, so Conan is doing his thing. He's killing people for money, as he says in here, and kind of using the money to look after himself after. And as is there ever in his revelry after a battle, he spots this blonde lass, and she is the thief that was responsible for betraying Conan and Balit in Conan 1617 or 1718, wherever it is, 1718. So I believe this is the first time we've ever had a Savage Sword story directly follow on from one in the main comic. And I remember the main comic thinking, well, she just disappeared. She just kind of wanders off and they kind of let go and that's it. You're done. Um, so this is, okay, that's pretty cool. So Conan obviously goes off and does his best to try and track her down. Um, and does manage to do so. There's a bit of fighting. She's very, very silent. Conan's kind of like said, "Oh, she seems to have changed. She used to be kind of doing the old quippy Spider-Man-y kind of thing and talking throughout combat, but now she's very, very silent and is seems to be pretty deadly with the weapon she's using. Um, and as the fight goes on, Conan's about to deal the final blow, and it turns out there was a second one, a twin. Um, and she manages to poison Conan with her crossbow. So Conan has a dream about these snakes and whatever, as usual. Um, and it turns out that this woman is not the person we thought she was. She is a sister of Set, and she's pretending to be that thief because the thief apparently stole the artifact from Set, and her and her sister, which are twins, have took on her form basically to cause as much havoc as possible and kind of like get her in trouble, maybe get her killed, whatever. Um, and Apparently Conan has got this mark of Set on him from this snake bite, and they're like, oh, they kind of apologise and say, oh, well, sorry, we didn't realise you're kind of a member of Set. Um, but Conan knows, again, interesting enough, that Zula removed the mark of Set in in Conan 20. So again, another reference to Conan, the main series. Don't think that's happened. Um, anyway, the deception doesn't last very long. Um, as they're lined up kind of thing, they meet this guard, and the guard basically says, "What's going on? Where did you get the mark from? Who was it who gave it to you?" And he can't produce the goods, so he gets thrown into jail. So that story, that part of the story, is odd because it's unnecessary. Sherry had the mark, or not Sherry had the mark, and the idea is I thought he's going to get away with getting into the compound, and they immediately discover he's not who he says he is. So it's like, okay, fair enough. So one of the sisters is convinced, I assume the one that he was fighting for originally, is convinced that he is marked correctly, even though the guy said he isn't, and proceeds to let him out of the jail cell. Conan knocks her out unconscious and gets the gang of prisoners there to basically kill the people doing the this ritual, which apparently they've been sacrificing these people to Set. There's some really nice set pieces of this stuff going on and what's going on with it as well. Um, uh, and as the other sister comes up, Conan manages to kill her, and she turns into a snake, which seems to suggest that the other sister is also a snake. Um, but by the time they've fought their way out, the sister's escaped, and off she goes. She goes and disappears into the night. So technically speaking, there's kind of two people with the same face. Um, but yeah, so all in all, not too bad. Feels a little bit of a lore. Gives us it says it's like 10 years since the confrontation with her originally. So again, we got kind of feels a little bit the Conan timeline. It's nice to have kind of like a bit of a backup, at least if it's even if not actually the thief. The idea that she's out there somewhere 10 years later, because obviously they're taking on her face, seems to suggest that she's still doing her thing. So yeah, all in all, not too bad. I'm getting this one, which is okay. It's a prehistoric story about this guy who is like a caveman chappy kind of thing. And it turns out that this guy, she comes in and sees him putting his snake mural on the wall, and it turns out that he's not who he is. He's been attacked by the set people, and they've taken on his personality, and he turns back into a snake again. And it turns out the entire village has done exactly the same, and they basically fight their way through the entire village, um, kill them, and they're the only two remaining at the end of it. I don't know who these characters are. I don't know if this is another Conan backstory character we've seen previously from Howard. But presumably this is all going to probably play part in the Scourge of Serpent stuff. So yeah, not too bad. Again, artwork is very, very nice. So it fits in with the black and white comic-y kind of stuff perfectly. And then we have the last one. Now, this is my favourite one, for sure. So this is set in 1930s Singapore, and it's basically a pulp story. The artwork is excellent. The artwork kind of reminds me of like the Goon, or maybe even the Spirit, and all that kind of stuff as well. Like very kind of pulpy kind of style. And it's got this guy who's a sailor, and he's like a boxer as well, and he stumbles across these guys attacking this girl. And they're kind of asking where this ring is. And they have a bit of a scuffle, and eventually, after a bit of to and froing, they come across this agreement that they have to face their biggest boss guy in a boxing match. And he has to go 3 rounds on this kind of stuff. So we get to see this kind of like boxing match. I just like up here right there. So yeah, so again, it's just this kind of boxing match goes on, and the guy's got the ring. And he's got this little dog called Mike, Mike the Bulldog, and as they're finishing this box match up, the bulldog comes along, bites his finger off, steals the ring off his finger, and escapes. And then kind of like everyone goes completely mad at Steve. Steve runs out, disappears, runs away all the way back to the docks, and jumps on the ship as it's just kind of like leaving the harbour. And the dog is there. It's like, okay, that's cool, but that's great. You've obviously that ring's obviously worth a lot of money or something or other. So, just kind of spit it out your mouth. And unfortunately, he does so, and he spits over the side of the boat, and it disappears into water. So this is a serpent ring, obviously, or a serpent ring, or the serpent ring from the crossover, it would seem. So again, it's another character, another kind of pulpy character that kind of fits in there. I did like that one. So I'm not sure what is coming next, because obviously this technically is a Scourge of Serpent crossover. I think the main series is stopping, and we're getting another 5-issue miniseries for Scourge of Serpent. Whether or not Conan 11 and 12 or Savage Sword are going to be Scourge, I'm not too sure. But I know after issue 12 they're going to reboot it to a Reforged title. Not quite sure why. Why they just didn't continue with 13, 14 onwards, I don't know. But hey, it's fine. As long as they keep up the same quality they did here, it's very, very good. But all in all, yeah, it's another pretty decent issue. I was a little reluctant to read it originally, just because I didn't think it was going to be great. But to be honest, when I kind of got into it, I sped for it pretty sharpish. So yeah, very, very good. I still was sometimes the Conan stories just seem to be a little bit too long. When they take up, I don't know, it's just a thing. It's like trying to read 3 issues of the same thing when nothing really happens in the middle kind of thing. But yeah, this one turns out to be really, really good. So there you go. Anyway, that's enough rambling for now. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Bye bye.